You ever sat around and thought to yourself, asked yourself, when can I retire? I'm tired of this job. I'm tired of this rat race, sitting in traffic, commuting. I'm about done with this place. When can I call it a career and leave this job? This tool that I'm getting ready to show you from Networthify.com is really cool. And you plug in your information, plug in the different variables, and it will give you a time frame of when you can expect to retire and not have to work again. So if we look at this calculator, first thing it's going to ask for is your current annual income. Well, in the United States, usually that's around $50,000 is the annual income or household income, or $51,000. And then it's going to ask you for your current annual savings. And now we got it plugged in $10,000 here a year. Now, if you don't know your current annual savings, you can plug in your current annual expenses, and this will update automatically. And it'll also update your savings rate, your current savings rate, which is really cool. And now, if you don't have any money right now that's set aside for retirement in your investment portfolio, you put that to 0. But if you do have some, well, let me show you this first. If I crunch the numbers here, just hit that button. If you come down here, 36.7 years, if you had a savings rate of 20%, and these were your other variables here, and that's without anything in your retirement portfolio. Now we can play around with this, of course. You can. This might not be your income. You might have less expenses than this. You might have $100,000 saved up in your portfolio. So we'll plug that in. If your expenses aren't $40,000, let's say $30,000, crunch the numbers. And now we have essentially cut that number in half. We reduced our retirement years from 36 to 17 and upped our savings rate of 40%. Now, by the way, you always hear, recommended to save 10% of your income. Well, that first example, we were saving 20%, which is good. But if you're serious about retiring early, living life on your own terms, you got to get used to saving more than even 20%. I think this tool does an excellent job of showing you the importance of your savings rate and how it impacts the years you have left to retire and be financially independent. So if you bump that up to 60%, let's say, look at that. We almost divided it in half again. 9 years. Now we're getting motivated. And if there's some way that you can save more, up that savings rate to 60%. Now, there's plenty of people out there in the United States, around the world, that save even more than 60%. It gets very difficult once you get above 50%, you're half your income, or 60%. 70, 80% gets extremely difficult. So it depends on, how much you make, how much you're willing to sacrifice, and I think that's a key word. But that sounds bad, sacrifice. You don't really have to sacrifice. There's plenty of free stuff to do for entertainment. If you have a family, usually the best things are free. Just hanging out, being with each other, and enjoying each other's company. And your life doesn't have to be made up of these expensive things. And if you can find activities and things that are just as enjoyable as ones that you have to pay for, you can reduce your living expenses. You can up your savings rate. And not to mention, if you took on a side hustle or you got a job promotion or something, you can increase your income. Let's say if you increase your income every year for a part-time job, a little side business that you started. 9.3 years is what we have if we made $50,000. This won't go down too far probably if you made $10,000, but every little bit helps. Well, it took a year and a half off. Now we've increased our savings rate to 66%. So if you use this tool, you can really get a sense of the impact of your savings rate and how these different variables are connected to when you can retire. And it's all about how serious you are, how motivated you are to get this done. I want each and every one of you to wake up every day and create income and make income where you're in charge. You're the boss. How much money you make is up to you. How little money you make is up to you. The activities that you do to generate that income is up to you. Here's the thing. It's not all about this number right here. It kind of is as if you're in a job that sucks and you don't like your job and you can't stand the company you work for, or the nature of the work that you do. But I got news for y'all. Even when this year comes, if you are enjoying what you do as far as your job or the business that you create or the different sources of income that you've created and have for yourself, you ain't going to retire. You don't want to retire. You're going to love making money, and you're going to love saving money. It's going to become a game to you. Like, how much money can I save and still live this nice life by doing the things that are important to me and my family that I've made a priority? That's what it's about. Calculator from Networthify.com is very cool, but this is more like freedom. I would think of this like the years till you have this option of being free and choosing what you do. You ain't got to work anymore, but you will. I guarantee you will. You will be engaged in activities that are important to you, that's going to produce some income for you, that's going to keep you active both physically and mentally, because we don't want to sit around on the couch. This is nice to get to this where you can retire, but that doesn't mean you have to retire. More than likely, you are going to be involved in some activities and ways of creating income that are meaningful to you and make an impact and provide a nice living for you, pays your expenses. And that's what I want. And that's what I would love for you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, Income Rocks, so you can get to that point of having the option. And that's what it's all about. But you got to get a ballpark figure of how much you're saving a year, what your annual expenses are a year, monthly expenses are a year, what your savings rate is. How can we decrease this number, your annual expenses, and increase your annual savings and increase your portfolio and increase your income if you felt like you needed to make more money. It's a beautiful thing, this calculator. I love it. Hopefully you get a lot of value from this calculator. Hopefully you got a lot of value from this video. If you did, hit that like button. I appreciate it if you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Next time, you all take care. See you soon.